Okay, we're going to get started. We want to welcome everybody to the 4th annual Farm Bureau Focused Broadband Bash at the Beach Football Jamboree. As promised, we're going to get started at 12:30 so that we can get the event moving forward and everyone can get back to practice, back to work, back to school. We want to thank Brunswick Community College for allowing us to use the facilities today. We would also like to ask Dr. Gene Smith to come up front and welcome you all to this beautiful campus here in Brunswick County.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to Brunswick Community College for the 2024 Bash at the Beach Football Jamboree Media Day. Brunswick Community College is focused on student success, and we know that an engaged student is a successful student. This is why we have 4 sports here at BCC. We have our men's and women's basketball team, our softball team, as well as our baseball teams. We enjoy competition. As you look around the gymnasium, you'll see the success that we've had in our basketball program with the banners that we have above your head. But most recently, our baseball team won the 2024 Region 10 and South Atlantic District Championships. We also competed in the NJCAA World Series and played in the National Championship game where we finished runner-up in the nation. We're always excited to collaborate with West Brunswick and all the high school football teams at this special event. Together, we're bringing each of you together to kick off the 2024 football season. That gives me chills just saying it. I'm ready for it to happen. And this is unlike any other event in North Carolina, probably in the nation, where we have all the teams together, we have a media day, then we have all the football games that are coming up later in the week. We hope you enjoy the lunch, the friendly but competitive atmosphere, and the chance to connect with each other. Thank you for joining us and making this event a huge success. Welcome to BCC.
All right, I want to introduce some major sponsors. Each sponsor will briefly talk about being part of our event. First, we have Farm Bureau with Mr. Rodney Brown, whose son recently won a Jamboree scholarship and is now playing football at Barton College.
So good afternoon. Jimmy, I think when we talked last year about doing this, you said we were going to have teleprompters this time, and that was the reason I agreed to do it. I'm not the best speaker in the world, so I've been watching all the election stuff, and I'm like, this is going to be cool. Jimmy's going to have me some teleprompters, but he didn't get them for me, so maybe next year. As Coach Caraway said, my name is Rodney Brown. I'm the agency manager of the Farm Bureau Insurance Office in Charlotte. And I just want to extend it. This is not just Charlotte area Farm Bureau. This is the support behind this comes from about 81 agents total in 15 agencies in 9 counties that represent the teams that are here today. And I would like to say thank you for allowing Farm Bureau to be a part of this event. We believe in the 3 short years that we've been doing this, that the Bash at the Beach has become a premier high school sports event in North Carolina, and we're proud to be a sponsor. High school sports is such a memorable time in every athlete's life, whether it's football, cheer, basketball, volleyball, whatever. Everybody in here that played high school sports, there's something about that holds a special memory for you. And an event like this is just amazing that these kids get to go through this. And it's an experience that they'll never forget. This year is a little bittersweet for me because, as Coach Caraway said, I had a son that graduated last year. He played in this event for 3 years. And as a parent, man, it's amazing, just awesome to watch a kid go through this and what they experience. So, and you guys, like I said, as players, just embrace every minute of it. It's going to be a great time for you in these games coming up on Friday and Saturday. So no matter what's going on in the world, when August rolls around, and I'm sure you coaches feel this way, when August rolls around and the high school football season kicks off, it just makes us know that it just seems like everything's going to be all right. It don't matter about anything else. We got something to look forward to every Friday night. So we're happy to be a part of that. North Carolina as a company, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we're built around community involvement and personal relationships. Our company has about 850 agents in 145 agencies in all 100 counties in North Carolina. And we strive every day, when I say we, everybody in our company and all the agencies, we strive every day to meet people where they live and where they work. We truly believe there's not a better way to show our support for the communities than by supporting high school athletics. And there's not a program in North Carolina that does a better job of supporting student athletes and all the athletic programs represented here today than the Bash at the Beach. And we just want to say that we are happy to be a part of it, and we appreciate you letting us help. Thanks a lot.
Next we have from Focus Broadband, Mr. Ryan Hill. Ryan played in the Jamboree in the mid-2000s for West Brunswick.
Good afternoon. As Coach Caraway said, I'm Ryan Hill. I'm the Residential Development Manager at Focus Broadband, headquartered here in Charlotte. First, I want to thank you all, everyone who's had a hand in making this event and successful. We always appreciate giving back to our community. As always, I've got to thank Coach Jimmy Fletcher for all that he's done for me and for having a hand in this. So let's give those guys a hand really quick, please. A little bit about Focus. Like I mentioned, we're headquartered here in Charlotte. We're currently expanding across 10 other counties in eastern North Carolina through state and federal grant funding. So that's something I want you seniors to all keep in mind. Even outside of the seniors, you guys, we're expanding our service, so please keep us in mind as you look for broadband internet. We're expanding to many rural areas across North Carolina. So each year we give a combined total of $80,000 in education and community grants to expand anything that you're willing to do inside of the community, as well as $20,000 in scholarships to rising seniors. So all you seniors in here, if you reside in some of our service areas, I encourage you to apply for these grants or these scholarships. If you don't know how, I'll connect you with our marketing team. We'll be sure to get you signed up. We also provide $25,000 to programs that are looking to enhance their broadband-enabled technology. So if you know someone who's looking to do something regarding with broadband with their community, if we can help in any way, we'd love to be able to support you guys. So I want to remind you all that live coverage of today's event will be available on our Facebook page, as well as the games streamed this weekend. If you look around your tables, our marketing team has created a little tent cards there with a QR code. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to our Facebook page where you can view this live coverage. We will also be streaming the game of the week all year long, so be sure to follow us there. A big thank you to our marketing team, Nathan, who does a great job of putting everything together. So look forward to seeing you all this weekend. Good luck. Play hard, play smart, play together. Thank you again.
All right, next up from Truist, we have John Gardner. He's the market president for the greater Wilmington area.
Everybody, John Gardner from Truist, market president in Wilmington. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I remember as a child growing up in Whiteville how exciting this time was, to travel over here, to see the bright lights come on. I remember how I felt, so I'm excited to come back and watch everybody compete. I do want to talk about the history between our bank and this event. It's long. It's about 40 years, if I'm not incorrect, Coach Jimmy. It started in the UCB days, moved on to the BB&T days, and now we're here as Truist. And so over those years, I think we gave over $1 million in scholarships. So you think about that, and you think about our mission as a bank is to inspire and build better lives and communities. And so I can't think of a better way to live out that purpose than to help student athletes. And so thank you for the opportunity. I will ask if you have any personal or business needs, give us a shot. We've gone through a lot with our merger. We're on the other side of that, but we'd love to compete. And so if you got anything on your mind, come see us. Thank you.
Next up from Capital Chevrolet, we have Wayne Barber. He's the owner of Capital Chevrolet in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all the players and the coaches on the upcoming season. It's always a fun time. When we took over 2 years ago, the first place I called was Jimmy Fletcher, because high school athletics is what I'm about, and I always have been. As a player, and even the other day, my coach from 35 years ago came by the store. So players, don't forget your coaches. Let them push you. Do not be afraid to play hard. And coaches, don't be afraid to push hard, because that kid might call you 35 years from now and ask you for some advice. So congratulations to everybody. We're thrilled to be here, and thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Last, we have from Novant Health, Heather King Semple. She's the president of Novant Health in Brunswick Medical Center.
Hey, good afternoon. So we're really proud and privileged to be able to be here as a representative for Novant Health. So I represent not only Brunswick County, but also some of the coastal market for New Hanover and Pender. Over the past couple of years, one of the things that we've seen during COVID was the importance of student athletes and how we lost that connection during that time, and the importance not only to the community, but to our athletes and our students and our overall mental health. So we are proud to be back. We're proud to be here. Excited for the coaches and the players. One thing that I would say for us is, if you get pushed too hard, then you can come see us, but we try for you not to come see me at work. That typically is not a good thing. That means you're in the emergency department. But we have a lot of opportunities for high school students through volunteer programs and scholarships. So if you're not sure, if it doesn't even have to be healthcare, but if you're not sure if a four-year school is something that you want to do, if you want to look at community colleges, we have scholarships for that. If you want to look at things maybe not so much from a nursing standpoint, but looking at phlebotomy and lab, but some of the things we offer for students is also around plant engineering and operations. So if anyone has any opportunities or has any interest in those fields, we're happy to be a part of those conversations with you and help continue to grow your future. And yeah, thanks.
Okay, we have one more major sponsor from FCA speaker Matt Treppel.
One of the things that we, as Fellowship of Christian Athletes, are very fortunate to be a part of the community in athletics, because there's no platform that has the influence, impact on our young kids than athletics, and football is chief among them. I know a lot of you coaches get an opportunity to speak to some of your teams. I will say, and some of you, I know that we come to our football camp every year, and we are thankful for the opportunity to speak into the life of your young men and to your coaches. If you're not familiar with FCA, or you desire to have FCA huddle or presence with your team, please contact me or Scott Holden over here is with FCA in Brunswick County. The most impact any kid has, 2 words: coach says. Coach says I should do this. Coach says I need to do this. Coach says this is what's important. The impact, the influence. As Billy Graham said, a coach will impact a person more in 1 year than most people will in the lifetime of that young person. It's not only the influence that you have, but we want, with the FCA, to have an impact on you coaches, to sow into your life, to speak into your life, to invest in you through coaches' huddles, through one-on-one, whatever it may be, that we can help you, that you can lead these men in a way that is beyond the X's and the O's. We want to invest in your life. I know some here that you get an opportunity to go to FCA's coaches camp on Black Mountain or a couples retreat at the Cove. The opportunity that we want to present to you as we get those to invest into FCA to make it available for you so that you can have an opportunity for you to replenish, to you to have a time away so that you can come back in a way fully mind, body, and spirit. All of those opportunities for all of you coaches are available, and we want to make that clear because how important it is. We know the job that you have for our young men, teaching them, guiding them, leading them in all aspects of life. Because there is no bigger and better life example for them than what goes on between the lines to help them live life outside the lines. So we are thankful for the opportunity. FCA is so thankful. So many of you have allowed us to come in and have the opportunity to serve you. Also, I guess, I don't know, am I going to pray on the food now or come back up, or what are we doing? All right. Well, you know, we're going to do that now. All right, there's Jimmy. That's what Jimmy thinks. And so that as we get to that point, it's been blessed. So I'll do that now. Father, I thank you for the opportunity for us as we gather in this building, what sports is, what football is, what it teaches, what it builds, what it strengthens. Young men, Lord, individually and collectively, to become who all you intended them to be. We are thankful for that. I thank you for these coaches, Lord God, that their job description and their clock they never clock out. I pray that we pour into them just as much as the opportunity to pour into these kids. And now as we get this opportunity to kick off this Jamboree, kicking off the football season, we thank you for this food. Thank you for those who provided and cooked it. And I pray that it will bless us, the nourishment of our bodies. I ask and pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
In 2022, the Bash at the Beach decided to bring back Jamboree scholarships. In 2023, the Bash at the Beach committee decided to bring back another tradition that goes with the scholarship. The scholarship committee decided to allow each school to honor one of their own sponsors by naming the scholarships given in their honor. The initial recognition will be for a period of 5 years. After the 5-year period, each school will have an opportunity to honor another individual. Each school made its recommendation to honor the individual who is either still living or deceased. The scholarship certificates that will be presented to the students will have the recognition included in the script. When I call the name of each school, if that person in attendance or their family members are in attendance, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. From Ashley High School, James McAdams. Laney High School, Ruby Sutton. South Brunswick High School, Chris Rayner. Wallace Rose Hill High School, Jack Ray Holly. Hoggard High School, Jane McFadden. New Hanover High School, Robert Bob Moore. South Columbus High School, Everline Davis. West Brunswick High School, Alan Holden. Whiteville High School, Dr. Jerry Pascal. East Duplin, Coach Brian Aldridge. Havelock, Wilbur Sasser. Kinston, Alexander Skeet Davis. East Bladen, Eric Chauncey. Northside Jacksonville, Pharaoh Parker. North Brunswick, Bob Grimes, and Topsail, Jamie Rochelle. Please join me in thanking these individuals for their dedication and commitment to their individual communities. Okay, we're going to go ahead and release tables to start getting food and begin eating. Please allow all the head coaches to go first. And then all the players that are in attendance today, please meet over by the big banner to my right over there, for a quick photo opportunity before getting in line to eat. All right? to ask anyone from the major sponsors to stand. Anyone from the major sponsors, go ahead and stand. We got Farm Bureau. If you're from Farm Bureau, go ahead and stand. Focus Broadband, Truist, Capital Chevrolet, Novant, FCA, and Brunswick Community College board members. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, now I'm going to read out some special guests that were here today. First, we have the Brunswick County Sheriff, Brian Chisholm. From the News Reporter, Franklin Davis. Brunswick County Schools Superintendent Dale Cole. Brunswick County Schools Assistant Superintendent Jonathan Pascal. Operation Facilities, Greg Shusky, I hope I said that right. And Operation Facilities, David Barber. Also BCC's AD, Mr. Robbie Allen. Thank you to the following members of the Bash at the Beach Committee for your many hours of hard work, planning, and preparation to make this event the best football jamboree in North Carolina. I want to thank Jimmy Fletcher, Leslie Reeves, Michael Lewis, Alan Bryant, Don Evans, Scott Evans, Kim Fluharty, David Hewitt, Chris Rayner, and TJ Spivey. One last special thank you to the man you see running around taking pictures here today and at all the games. He first started photos for the football jamboree at the very first one in 1987 when Randy Huggins asked him to help out. He has not missed a single media day or event since 1987. He'll take over 2,000 photos this year at the jamboree, and they all can be found on the website, www.bashatthebeach.com. Please join me in thanking Mr. Joe Stanley for his 37 years, plus 37 years service, commitment to our local community and events. Thank you, Mr. Stanley, Mr. Joe Stanley. One more time, let's give it up for Mr. Stanley. He takes some good photos of me. All right, we have I'm going to introduce our guest speaker. We have a short introduction video to help introduce our guest speaker. After the video, Coach Jack Teachy will welcome our guest speaker to the stage.
What matters? Everything. Everything. Technique, alignment, assignment, attitude, effort, intensity, focus, clarity, the whole thing. It matters.
He thinks he's going to win every game. And he's planned and worked hard as anybody could, and his staff has, to do that.
He charged everybody to go hard, every single snap.
He's very demanding. He wants you to do things the right way and hold yourself accountable.
He exemplifies athletics. He's the exemplar of integrity and character that we seek in our athletic program.
When I first met him during my recruiting process in high school, he brought the intensity in the room. As soon as he walked in, you know, he didn't sugarcoat what Wofford was going to be like. He told us it was going to be tough.
Best thing that ever happened to Wofford football was Coach Ayers.
What would you think about a Cinderella story where a bunch of short-haired, no-name dogs went on a hunt and came up a Southern Conference champion? Life is hard. Life is hard. When you get knocked down, you got a choice. You either stay down, lay down, give in, or give out. What's your choice? God bless.
I still get goosebumps. I'm ready to run through the wall, Coach. I have the incredible honor and privilege to introduce Coach Ayers today. I had the privilege to play for him, to coach underneath him for 20 years at Wofford. But before I get into Coach, I just want to recognize his wife, Miss Julie Ayers, who has been with him through all the ups and downs over 40 years of college coaching. So, Miss Ayers. So Coach had a 40-plus year career. It started in Georgetown, Kentucky, where he played and he coached. And over the course of that 40 years, he retired at Wofford as the all-time winningest coach in the history of Wofford football. During his time at Wofford, 30 years there, he took his teams to 10 national playoffs. He won 5 Southern Conference championships. He was named National Coach of the Year by winning the Eddie Robertson Award. He's now in the Wofford Hall of Fame. He is in the Southern Conference Hall of Fame. And I could go on and on about accomplishments and numbers, but I think the best number I want to share with you today is, through all those accolades and accomplishments, Coach changed thousands and thousands of lives, and I'm one of them. I love Coach with all my heart. He's been a second father to me, and Miss Julie's been a second mom, but he's changed lives. As you heard in the video, it was about doing right. He was a leader of men, incredible teacher. He loved us as coaches, he loved us as players, and his passion for that was unmatched. He worked harder than anybody on our staff. He was the first one off the bus unloading equipment as the head coach. But more than anything, than trying to help us be the best players, the best coaches we could be, what he greatly desired is for us to be the best men, the best husbands, the best fathers, the best citizens that we could be. He was incredibly selfless, and to me, the ultimate selfless servant. So please stand to your feet, put your hands together for my coach, Coach Mike Ayers.
Back in the day, I would have jumped up here, but I turned 76, and if I stumbled, I'd probably knock myself out. But it's a pleasure to be here. Ball coaches, 2 tables full. Let me tell you something. The job is bigger than you can imagine. I was blessed, very blessed, to have had an opportunity to coach. Most of my guys, I see them, they'll come up, they'll hug me around the neck. Some of them kiss me on the cheek. I don't mind. I'm an emotional coach. I not only give you my body, my mind, and my soul, but I gave you my love. And when you forget that love part, I'll tell you, you'll come up short. Love is the glue. Love is the glue if you want to have a great team. I took over Wofford in 1988. 1988, I inherited a group of kids that had never had an opportunity to have a winning season. I took over 82 kids, myself and my assistant coaches. And we started on a journey that nobody thought we had ever complete. We started down in the gym. It was 6 a.m. And the first thing that I taught our guys, and that we taught our guys, is that little things make a difference. We started out with a drill, a very simple drill. I'm sure all of you coaches have done it. I'm sure all of you coaches have said it. Put your hand on the line. Is that hard? No, it's not. But for some reason, I had some of the brightest kids, Wofford, very strong academic school, but they wasn't smart enough to put their hand on a line. Some of them put it behind the line, some of them put it beyond the line, and then some of them, they couldn't get the snap count. Moral of the story is, the first group, it took them 6 times. The drill was hand on the line, snap count, down, set, hike. When you hear hike, I want you to sprint to midcourt. Once you get to midcourt, I want you to throttle it down and get ready to go again from the other side. We started 6 times for that first group. And you may say, okay, what is that all about? Little things make a difference, man. Little things make a difference. The thing that I also wanted to instill in that drill was it wasn't just about putting your hand on the line. It was about putting your heart on the line. It was about putting your soul on the line. It was about you and us, and we are going to somehow, some way, someday win a championship. We made that happen. Jack Teachy, outstanding coach. Outstanding coach. Probably one of the best defensive line coaches in America. I'm sure he's a great head coach. I haven't seen him coach, but I know Jack Teachy because I checked Jack Teachy's whole card. I took Jack Teachy to a point to where he was either going to give in, give out, or give up, but he didn't. He kept going. That's the thing about coaches. How can you do your job and do your job in a way that it turns out best for everybody? I was a Marine. And I can remember when I finished with basic training, I was fortunate enough, we got a furlough. I went home, flew, first time I'd ever flown in an airplane. And when I got there, I come from a big family. I've got 5 brothers. You can imagine 6 sons in the same family, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I got 2 brothers, and they meet me at the airport. I said, what do you want to do? I don't know, nothing, I guess. I just wanted to get home. Well, they didn't take me home. They said, well, there's a sports convention show. And that sports convention show was about guys that shot a bow and arrow. Had one guy, he was a fly fisherman, had them little plastic donuts, and he was dropping that fly into it. And I said, man, I don't want to do that. They said, come on. We drive, I think the place was Cincinnati Gardens. That's where it was being put on. We go, we walk around, we see boats, a lot of boats. I've seen a lot of boats here, a lot of boats. And so we climbed into this one boat. It was a cabin cruiser. First time I'd ever been in a cabin cruiser, first time I'd ever been in a boat. Long story short, we get run out of the boat. We end up walking around, and then all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, in 10 minutes, Victor the Wrestling Bear. I looked at my brother and I said, do you say Wrestling Bear? They said, yeah, come on. There was a platform just like this, but it was bigger. Went all the way back, there was these curtains. Guy comes out, he said, I need 5 volunteers. Come on, 5 volunteers. Well, 4 guys come up immediately. All of them had alcohol on their breath. I'm there, and I'm right here in the front. This guy comes out, he's in a lumberjack. He looked like typical, what you think a lumberjack. He had suspenders, he had a plaid shirt, he had hobnail boots on, and he had long Levi's. The guy comes out and he says, I need 5 volunteers, 5 volunteers. 4 guys jump up there, and I look at my brothers and I said, who's going to be crazy enough to get in there and wrestle a bear? They jacked me up between my 2 legs, threw me up on the platform, and there we're standing. 5 guys. 5 guys. And there's a curtain. I hate this. Does this come loose? If not, okay. There was a curtain just like this back here. And I had 3 here, and I had this other guy right here, and he was strongly inebriated. And he looks at me and goes, you think this is a real bear? I said, I don't know, Chief. All of a sudden, I part the curtain. This is true story now. I part the curtain. I look. There's like a 1959 rust-over yellow Buick station wagon, and it had a cage in it. And I said, Chief, it's a real bear. And he started going, ah! And I said, chill out, man. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, surely. 4 of them go out there. And I'm just telling you the truth. This is the story. You can look it up on whatever. I'm the last one. You ever thought about being the last one? Just you and a bear? The handler comes up to me and he goes, he pops me twice on the chest. He said, mix it up with him. He likes it when you mix it up with him. True story. Me and Vic, I said, I've never seen a bear up close. I've never touched a bear up close. I said, at least I'm going to touch this bear. So I get up, and I'm down here, and I just shoot him, double hand shiver. And I grab him, and I said, I'm going to shake this bad boy loose. And it went, ah! And I said, oh my gosh. He had a muzzle on. And so I back up. And every time I swatted my hands, I'd see his paw go up. Come on up here. Can you hear me back there? Okay, outstanding. Hold that microphone. Okay, here's Vic. But Vic was about that tall. So I went, wham! Like that. Oh my God. So I realized that those other guys, when they were wrestling, when they went like that, Vic took his paw off. I'd wrestled in high school. What do you think? I wrestled in high school. I'm going to beat this bear. So here we go. I go like that, Vic raises up. Boom! I go behind. I try to lift Vic up. I can't get him up. I go down. I pull his feet from under. He's down on the ground. I got him here. And what's this?
Headlock.
Bear hug. Okay. I got him around the neck like this, and the guy says, he's not pinned. My brothers are screaming, he's got a pin, he's got a pin. The guy said, let him loose. I said, no. He pulls my hands apart. Vic is there. Evidently, he gave Vic some kind of signal. Kill. got down on all fours, so I had to table up, because I knew that if I got tilted and turned, I was toast. Boom, boom, boom. I work it. Finally, I get away from it. I mean, complete oxygen death. You guys will learn that in college, okay? A back, I run. I played football. I butted him right under the chin. Guess what? Mistake. He goes like this right here. He's waddling. Woo! He hits me. True story. Boom! Like that. I got my two brothers there, and there's a Catholic priest beside him. I fall. I'm like this. They say, get back in there. Catholic priest goes, you're whipping him, my son. I said, if you don't get your hands off of me, I'm going to whip you. True story. Okay. Thanks, Vic. All right. The moral of the story. There's a lot of tales you can tell. But the bottom line it comes down to, you got to do it. You got to do it. Do your job. Everybody, do your job. Everybody, do your job. Because when you're in, you're in. If you're not in, get out. God bless.
Thank you, Coach. That was some nice takedown maneuvers as a former head wrestling coach, gotta say. All right, now we're gonna begin the coaches' interviews. I don't know if we're gonna be able to top that, but we're gonna go with the coaches' interviews. Questions will go in order of the games being played. Tables to the right are Friday night's games. Tables to the left are Saturday night's games. The 8 Mid-Eastern Conference teams are the home teams. The other 8 opponents are visiting teams. Each game will end and the next game will begin. This year we will reset field positions after each scrimmage, but the total score will continue to be running score. This year the Mid-Eastern Conference teams will be wearing their dark home uniforms. The 8 visitor teams will be wearing their white away color jerseys due to winning in 2023, 172-82. One reminder, special teams during all games are dead. Please remind your players about this before the game. Another point to mention, due to recent hurricane weather and schedule, the games had to be moved around. The dates in the schedule in the event book are not correct. The games are now Friday and Saturday. Some of the matchups have changed. The website and social media have been updated to correct the dates and game matchups. Before I get started, I also want to mention that the state champion streak continues. Every year at the Bash at the Beach Jamboree has been played. At least one or more teams that have participated played in a state championship game at the end of the season. We expect that tradition to continue in 2024. No pressure, coaches. All right, so let's get started by kicking this Q&A off. We're going to start off with the South Columbus Stallions taking on the North Brunswick Scorpions. South Columbus Stallions are led by head coach Russell Dove, and the Stallions finished 3-6 overall last year and 1-5 in conference play. Coach Dove, you got the mic.
I've got it.
Okay, good. Coach Dove, welcome. What do you expect from the Stallions this year?
We expect much better than last year. Last year was kind of a tough year, rebuilding, and really started, as soon as the season got over last year. So our weight room program has been much more pertinent to us. We've spent a lot of time in there. Spent a lot more time during the summer, taking the kids to camp, doing some community outreach, doing different things with those kids, bonding, to help us kind of have a tighter knit group. So, but our biggest thing is, we scrimmaged last night, And for us, it's little things, steps, cleaning up backside, staying on blocks. The little things are going to help us be successful this year.
Very good. Looking at your schedule this year, how important is your first 4 non-conference games to get the momentum headed into conference play against your rival, East Bladen?
Absolutely. The first game is the most important. All 4 of them are, but the first game is important. I think we need to take care of business there first. But the first of your season lets you evaluate your players, see where they are, see where they need to be. We're steadily doing that every day, making changes. And that's what's got to be done. Like I said, you got to see who's in there, who's going to be in the fight, who's not going to be in the fight, who wants to tackle, who doesn't want to tackle. And we got to find our guys so we move forward.
All right, one more question. Looking at your roster, I saw number 15, Rush Blackwell, on there. Are you sure he's not a 6th-year senior? I've called his name a bunch for a long time. We've been hearing his name for many years. What do you expect from him this fall?
Expecting great things. He's here with us, and the way he works in the weight rooms, the way he practices, the way he plays, he does it at a high level, a lot of intensity. Proud of the young man. So we expect great things from here this year. We're going to ask a lot more of him this year, and I think he still has 2 more years of eligibility. So.
All right, thanks, Coach Dove.
Yes,
Good luck Thursday night. All right, the Stallions will face off against North Brunswick, the Scorpions. The Scorpions are led by head coach Brian Davis. North Brunswick finished 8-4 overall last year, 4-3 in conference play. North Brunswick lost to J.H. Rose in the 2nd round of the high school state playoffs, 3A. Coach Davis, you have 2 returners on offense, 4 returners on defense. Talk about what you lost at graduation and how do you plan to replace that production?
Well, the first thing I want to do was get into a self-defense mechanism. While Coach Ayers was talking, he was threatening me over here, so I was taking notes on how to take down the bear over here. So we're excited to be able to go against them this week. But I also, before we get started, I'd like to thank all the coaches' wives. I don't know if you guys know it, but I got one of the best in the world, and I know Coach Ayers would probably attest to the same. I know they don't get all the credit that they deserve because they deal with a bunch of mess behind the scenes, especially when you only return 6 starters. So my wife's fixing to get a bunch this year because we got a long learning curve. We're really, really young. We did graduate a good bit, but I really love the character of our kids, and I know most of the coaches are going to say that. This is one of the stronger teams I've had, but it's a youthful strong. I don't think they know what their bodies are doing yet, and heck, I don't know what their bodies are doing either. No matter what we call, I have no idea what we're going to predict is going to be the end result. So our coaches have been working really hard. We're very fortunate to have a tremendously supportive administration. They've done everything they can to give us the position to compete, and I can't say enough about them. And we also have a tremendous fabric of people in the community who help us. And I know this ain't the question you asked, but these are the answers I wanted to give. And, we got a strong booster club, and one of the more instrumental people beyond Coach King, our AD, and Dr. Rollison, our principal, is Ryan Huffman, who works with Farm Bureau, and he's been tremendous in trying to brand our school and help us. So, yeah, we lost a lot last year, but we got enough people coming back with great character. We're going to be all right.
All right, that's fantastic. How important is your non-conference schedule with a young team heading into your first conference game against Hoggard on September 20th?
Well, the biggest thing for us is just getting film. Being the son of a college football coach and the way we used to watch film, breaking it down to a science every step and everything. These are the first steps some of these kids have ever taken. So it's almost like going from the crawling stage and then putting them right in the sprint stage. They don't even get a chance to walk and run. So getting them on film and coaching the finer details, the smaller points, and see if we can be the very best version of ourselves come October. That's the ultimate goal.
Fantastic. One more thing real quick. What are some team goals for the entire season? Real quick.
You'll say that again, I'm sorry.
Your team goals for the entire season.
Oh, survive. Yeah, survive and not let my wife divorce me. That's a heck of a goal. So I think we're going to do all right. We're going to get there. They're great kids, and we got some great coaches, and I'm excited about where we're going.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck Friday night. All right, next up, Game 2 will be between the Havelock Rams and the Hoggard Vikings. Havelock is led by Coach Brent Wooten. The Rams finished 13-1 overall, 6-0 in the conference. The Rams lost to Northern Nash in the 4th round of the 3A high school state playoffs. Coach Wooten, another great year for the Rams. Excuse me? Oh, sorry. How many guys did you lose towards graduation? How many are coming back? And what does 2024 look like as far as the state championship goes?
We're pretty blessed to be really senior heavy. Unlike Coach Davis, we lost 2 starters on defense and 2 starters on offense, and everybody else is back. And this group has been working very hard for the last 4 years. And I think losing in the 4th round of the playoffs gave them the hunger they needed to pay attention to the details, like Coach Ayers says. Those simple drills, sometimes it's a psychological aspect as much as the physical aspect that really helps you figure out a lot about your team. And when you look at these guys that have been, for 4 years looking for a chance to win a state title, and I think these guys are hungry, and I think it's shown all summer. So that's where we're at. We're senior heavy, great kids, and we're just looking forward to competing all year.
Very cool. Cool. All right. Give me a name of one offensive player and one defensive player that I'll be calling out a lot Friday night.
Well, our quarterback.
Can you do that? Are you able to do that?
Sure. Our quarterback from last year has switched back to wide receiver, which is where he's committed to go East Carolina to play. Jonathan Williams. He's just super talented. We got to find a way to get the ball in his hands at all times. But he's just one piece we are blessed with a lot of really good athletes in our senior class. And then on defense, we got senior defensive end Donathan Darden that's committed to South Carolina. He's made great strides this offseason transitioning from outside backer to defensive end, and I think you'll see great things from him this year.
Good. All right. Give me some names that you haven't mentioned yet, kind of like a surprise, like up-and-comers.
We have a couple of sophomores from last year that just played defense, and Kamani Nolan and Zakeem Patillo that are playing receiver some this year. Try to get the ball to them. And we had a couple of defensive linemen, Chris Bispham and Ced Farrar, who return on the defensive line this year that really do a good job keeping offensive linemen off our linebackers, which is a key for them to be able to roam and make plays. So we got a lot of good guys, and we can mention whoever we wanted to, but it comes down to attention to detail, paying attention to film, and being ready every Friday night, because we don't play an easy game on our schedule.
Okay. Thank you, Coach Wooden. Good luck Friday night. Havelock's opponent is going to be the Hoggard Vikings. Hoggard is led by head coach Craig Underwood. Hoggard finished the season 14-2 overall last year, 7-0 in conference play, and the Vikings lost to Weddington in the high school 4A state championship game last year. Coach, congrats on another great season, state championship game appearance. You got a new team. What does 2024 look like for the Vikings?
I'm really excited about it. I think one of the fun things about this job is the way, you don't have a choice. You got a new team every year. It's you got guys that have to come in that new senior class and take ownership of it. And that's something we've really challenged these guys to do. And they're stepping up. We've had a really good spring. I think we made some strides there. Solid commitment through the summer. Had our first scrimmage last night, and I think we're on track. We definitely have work to do, but I think we got the pieces to be pretty competitive again.
Excellent. Who are some key players and positions from the team last year that will need to be replaced, and who are you expecting them to fill those shoes?
We had a lot of, it was a big senior class. I know it's gotten a lot of attention, and they were a special group. I love that group. But, kind of as we've talked to our team about, that season is on the shelf now, and it's a special memory. But there's a lot of guys in this group. There's a couple of them here. They were impact players last year, and they're in real leadership roles this year. Michael Gibbs and Rylan Edwards are back there, the left tackle, inside linebacker. But we have multiple guys, Blake Edwards, Kamar Fulton, Nas Session. All three of those guys have basically been 3-year starters for us. We've got a strong leader in Isaiah Newkirk, is a name I think you'll hear a lot this year, has really stepped up. But, they're just, there's going to be a lot of guys that have opportunities under the lights for the first time. They've worked hard for 4 years, and now they get their chance. So really excited to see what they can do. And again, I think we're on the right track with that.
Thank you, Coach Underwood. Good luck Friday night. Appreciate
Thank you.
Our third game for Friday night is between the Kinston Vikings and the New Hanover Wildcats. The Kinston Vikings are led by head coach Ryan Gieselman. Thank you, Coach. The Vikings finished 4-7 overall last season, 2-4 in conference play, and lost to Clinton in the first round of the 2A state playoffs. Coach, coming off a 4-7 season, the good news is 6 returners on offense, 8 returners on defense. Excitement has to be high headed into the 24 season. What are your expectations?
Got to be better than last year. I mean, you know, we played a lot of youth last year, and those guys are back. The big focus was the weight room, and we started a leadership council in our school, and we had 5 kids from each of our classes, and you know, just trying to work on their leadership skills to lead our team, because I felt like our senior leadership last year was down, and definitely had to improve on that to be successful this upcoming year.
Excellent. Last year, Tyreek Cooper, I remember saying his name a lot. Can I expect even more from him this year?
Oh, no doubt. Tyreek Copper.
Excuse me.
He's a receiver for us. His dad's on our staff, former NFL guy. Does a great job of pouring into our receivers, and you know, we throw the ball quite a bit, and you know, you'll be hearing his name quite a bit, I'd assume.
All right, so your coach, quote, mentioned great summer workouts. Briefly talk about how important summer workouts was for the success of your fall season.
I mean, it started off with FCA camp, and we took a group of 32 down there, and it's one of the first times we've ever been down there where there hadn't been any issues, and you see everything that we put forth in the springtime with our leadership council kind of trickling down through our program, and not having any issues, and the kids really buying in, and you know, carried over to the month of June and July, going to Beast of the East, and you know, doing well there, and you know, so far in August has been well.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck Saturday night. Their opponent will be New Hanover this says Saturday night, but I believe it's on Friday. Okay. Their opponent will be the New Hanover Wildcats. New Hanover is led by head coach Dylan Demick. New Hanover finished the season 6-6 overall last year, 4-3 in conference play. The Wildcats lost to New Bern in the second round of the state playoffs. Coach, 6-6 last year was with a tough schedule. What are goals and expectations heading into 2024?
Well, we want to do a lot better than we did last year. I mean, I think our team didn't come together really well last year. A lot of individuals. This year's group, we've really worked on that in the spring and through the summer. So I feel like, and I think Coach Ayers said it, they've got to love each other. They've got to care about each other. And I feel good about that in our group this year.
J.H. Rose week 1 and a strong Pinecrest team week 3, non-conference games. Talk about the importance of your non-conference schedule heading into conference play September 20th.
Sure. I mean, we always try to play, you know, a strong non-conference schedule, because if you don't, you don't know who you are, and it's week 4. So we play Northside, we play Pinecrest, we play Rose. You know, we're always sort of trying to figure out who we are so we know what we need to do to be successful in conference.
And finally, what are some key positions you lost to graduation, and how are you replacing those key positions for the Wildcats to make another run this fall?
Sure. Jacob Monroe is going to be our quarterback this year. He's a senior. He's been with the program for 4 years. He's had a really good spring and summer. Defensively, you know, we're replacing some guys on the back end with some young guys. We've got some youth, but they're athletic and long, and they're going to make mistakes. They made some mistakes yesterday in our scrimmage, and we're going to leave here and go take a look at the film and correct those mistakes. And it's how quickly do those young guys, you know, learn what we're asking them to do. The big thing we say is don't make the same mistake twice. And if we do that, we're going to be pretty good in November, December.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach. Also, good luck Friday night. The last game Friday night will be between Northside Jacksonville Monarchs and Ashley Screamin' Eagles. The Northside Monarchs are led by head coach Kendrick Pollock. The Monarchs finished 1-9 overall last year, 0-6 in conference play. Coach, welcome back. This is the second year for the Monarchs. What did you and your players think about the event last year, and what are you looking forward to this year?
We enjoyed it. It was a great competition. I think we played Topsail last year, and just a trip down, and it got us ready for some of the long trips that we take during the season, and we're happy to be back.
Excellent. Not a normal year for the Monarchs last year. What are you excited about this year headed into 2024?
Our youth. We're extremely young. We're probably starting a freshman at quarterback. In fact, we will start a freshman at quarterback, and hopefully he stay healthy, and if he's not, then another freshman is coming in. Looked good yesterday. I think we probably end up starting about 2 seniors on both sides of the ball. So that's where we're at, and we're young and played extremely well, so we're excited, and we'll see what we do Friday.
Awesome. Who are some playmakers that I'll be calling out Friday night, both sides of the ball, real quick?
I think on defense side of the ball, you hear Keon Anderson, Trey Smoot. Offensive side, you hear Reginald Graves, a freshman. He's about 6'3", 187 receiver force. Rely Anderson. And then also you hear my other quarterback, freshman guy, Caleb Robinson. So again, we're young and we're happy and we're excited where the program's going now.
All right, excellent. Good job, Coach. Good luck Friday night. And then finally, we have Northside Jacksonville, and their opponent's going to be Ashley High School. The Screaming Eagles are led by third-year head coach Dante Lombardi. The Eagles finished 7-5 overall last season, 4-3 in conference play. The Eagles lost a very close second-round playoff game to Fuquay Varina in the 4A state playoffs last year. Coach, after 18 years of losing seasons, last year was the second playoff game hosted in school history. Talk about using the momentum going into 2024.
Yeah, obviously last year was very exciting, but we've been preaching new year, new team, new goals. We've returned a lot of players, but they're understanding that the players we lost from graduation were a big part of our team. They've been putting in the hard work. We've been telling them it's real easy to win when you're not supposed to. Now it's flip side, so we got to prove we belong and prove that we can continue and compete at the high end of our conference.
Okay. Another big win last year was a win over New Hanover, the first one since 2004. Last year's success have any impact on the off season, and what players in the program, et cetera?
Yeah, it did. Our players are excited. I think the biggest thing is we have a good bond. A lot of these players been together. We returned 16. We have a heavy senior class, so the bond is there. The players are excited, but they know that, like I said, we got to prove it, and that the target is on our back now, and these teams know we can compete. So they've been working extremely hard and want to prove that we could do more than that. The playoff loss in the second round, 10-7, was real heartbreaking for us because we felt we could have beat Fuquay. So we do have that chip on our shoulder as well.
7 returners on offense, 7 on defense. What are some of the Screaming Eagles' goals?
Yeah, the goals is to go forward. If it's less than 7, it's a step backwards. So the goals, again, move forward, hopefully get a favorable matchup in the playoffs and get to the 3rd round. We return a lot of talented guys. So we just want to improve on that.
Thank you, Coach Lombardi, and good luck Friday night. That concludes our Friday night games. We're going to move over and look at the coaches from Saturday night's games. Saturday night, we're back in action at 5 p.m. with our first game being the Whiteville Wolfpack taking on the Laney Buccaneers. The Whiteville Wolfpack are led by head coach J.P. Price and wrestling dummy J.P. Price up here. The Wolfpack finished 11-3 overall last year, 5-1 in conference play. The Wolfpack lost in the 4th round to Northeastern in the 2A state playoffs. Coach, brother-in-law bowl number 2, Wolfpack took the first one in 2021. What do you hope to learn about your team after Saturday against a very talented 4A Laney team?
Yeah, just, how hard we're going to compete. I always look at, how physical we want to be, the love that our team has for one another. It's like We're like a family. We're grateful to go against Laney. They have obviously a good coach and my brother-in-law. Great players. You know, his son's a great quarterback, senior. Matter of fact, when we played them the first time, I think Ty was a senior. So went against both nephews. They've got tremendous speed, good athletes. It's a good test for us to kind of see where we're at moving forward, heading into non-conference play. So we're excited about it.
Good deal. Coach, each summer you take your team to FCA camp, 7-on-7 summer camp. Today is sponsored by FCA. Briefly talk about your experience and the importance of FCA in your program at Whiteville.
Yeah, we've been going for, and if I get emotional, excuse it, we've been going for 10 plus years. This one was more special. Last day of school, we had a tragic car accident. 3 football players, 1 basketball player, 2 twin brothers in the back seat. One of them lost his life. And it was the Friday before we were supposed to leave the camp on Monday, and the devil really tugged at me, telling us not to go. We need to stay, be here for the family. But my father, being a big influence, said, "No, you need to go. Something good is going to come from this." So we loaded up and went. And Ken Lovell preached the message every night, did a tremendous job. And I'm expecting, some of our players to come to salvation. That's the most important thing. I never go to this camp for 7-on-7. I don't care about the football. We go to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's the most important thing. And for some of them, this is the only time that they may ever hear it in their life. Well, it was the second night there. My daughter was at a youth camp, and I had to walk out to talk to her, and it was during the altar call. And one of the FCA staffers came and grabbed my arm, and I walked back in, and my 8-year-old son, who's here today, Jet, he always goes with me to camp. He gave his life to the Lord. And if it hadn't have been for us going, he wouldn't have accepted him that night. And so the importance of FCA camp, and when we take our team, you never know what seed is being sown, not knowing it was my son.
All right. Well, a lot of new names on your roster, Coach. What are some key positions that had to be replaced, and who are you counting on to fill those spots in 2024, Coach?
The biggest ones was our quarterback, Luke Odom, who's a 3-year starter. On the defensive side, and a 2-year starter at quarterback. And he was the heart and soul of our team last year. We have some pieces coming back. And a wide receiver, Will Fisher, plays DB, a tremendous athlete, and Nupi Powell, our running back, and then Cam McAvane, who plays both sides of the ball. So we did lose a good bit, but it's like Coach Underwood said, your team is what you've got coming back. We've got some pieces, it's just inexperience. So the more live reps we get, hopefully we keep improving on that every week.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach Price. Good luck Saturday night. Whiteville will be taking on Laney High School, led by head coach Luke Little. Coach Little will begin his 5th season as head coach of the Laney Bucks. Laney finished 10-3 overall last year, 6-1 in the conference play, and lost to conference rival 4A state runner-up Hoggard High School in the 3rd round of the 4A state playoffs. Coach, brother-in-law, bowl number 2, same question. What do you hope to learn about your team Saturday against an always talented and physical Whiteville team?
Well, get to see Wing T again. We're excited about that. That's always fun early in the year. But no, when you play Whiteville, had Wallace last year, battle over at East Steuben, you're going to figure out if your team's physical enough early. Can we stop Waggle and that kind of stuff? I doubt it. We couldn't last year. But we at least know we're going to get hit, and we find out early if we're going to hit back.
All right. Question number 2. My favorite quote in the book was that you said, "We expect to compete for a conference championship." Talk about that quote headed into 2024.
Well, Laney hadn't done it in a long time. We've done some things the last couple of years that Laney hasn't done in a long time, but none of them's win the conference championship. We got 3 goals every year, and we hadn't met a single one of them since I've been here. So 10 wins is great, but we try to win the city every year and win the conference every year. That's 2 of our goals, and pretty much you got to win the city if you're going to win the conference. So We still got goals out there, and you know, we don't care. We play tough non-conference, but I tell our kids, you know, it doesn't matter if we're 3-0 or 0-3 non-conference. It's all about, you know, once we get into the season.
Right. Okay, so we know Laney likes to throw it and score points. Can we expect more of that this year? And if so, who'll be leading the way for the Laney offense?
Yeah, we're gonna throw it around. We got Hampton Roderick back. He had a good year last year. He was supposed to come today. I think he's folding towels somewhere, wherever he works, but he couldn't get off. We got Colby back, another year at quarterback. Jamboree Murray's over there as our H-back. He actually caught a pass yesterday in scrimmage. Arquan is back. He's one of our best players last year and tore his ACL game 1 against Conley. But he's a guy that we work both ways. Starts at DB, but he'll play some offense too sometimes this year. But yeah, I think we're fine on offense. As far as being able to score, we're replacing all 5 offensive linemen. I think they're going to be good players, but it's just going to take time for them to gel up front.
All right. Coach Little, good luck Saturday night also. Our next game, game 2 on Saturday night, will be the Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs versus the Topsail Pirates. Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs are led by Coach Kevin Motzinger. The Bulldogs finished the season 8-4 overall last year, 6-0 in conference play, and lost to Hertford County in the second round of the 2A high school state playoffs. Coach, welcome back to the Bash. Last year, this media day went viral on social media thanks to one of your answers. Thank you for that. We need all of the views that we can get. How have your workouts been, and is there in 2024 another possible state title run for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I don't know why that went viral. I guess because everything else on social media is a lie, and I just told the truth. Before we start workouts, I want to give a shout out to Coach Underwood at Hoggard and Principal Madden at Hoggard. Last year when my wife, we found out she had breast cancer, and that was when the surgeries were going to be, they went over the top trying to work those games in and work with us, and then the hurricane came. We played JVs on Tuesday night. We were going to play the varsity on Wednesday night, but then the hurricane came. We had to play Friday night, but I can't thank them enough because a lot of times, you know, it's all about football and X's and O's and all that nonsense, but they went out of their way to really try to help us, and I can't thank them enough for that. I can't thank my coaches enough. They had to cover for me so many times last year when I took care of my queen. Your question was about off-season workouts?
Yes, sir.
We started January 6th. You know, we got 2 back on offense, 2 back on defense. Last year, y'all made fun of me because I said we had 2.5, but we only did. We had 2.5 the year before, I think. This year, we got 2 full on aisle and 2 full back on D. Irvin Brown, Jamari Lamb, they were the 2 back on offense. So if you're sitting in a meeting room and, you know, we lost the whole offensive line, quarterback, tight end, you know, if you had 2 guys to come back, those 2 boys are the 2 you'd have picked. They're 2 dogs, and they can freaking play. We got to replace the offensive line and all those guys. We got 2 guys competing at quarterback. So they've worked really hard. We've changed a lot in the weight room. Coach Scrontz, my offensive coordinator, spent a lot of time in Alabama, and we talked to those guys, and we've really changed a lot of what we're doing in the weight room as far as with the band work and velocity training, and then just with the GPS trackers, we bought the vests so we could monitor our kids. And I hate technology and all that good stuff, but you know, everybody wants to talk about data, but that stuff's really amazing where you can monitor your kids and see the growth and see what we need to do and adjust. And that's really been, I'd say, one of the most amazing things in my 28, 29 years, whatever it is.
All right, so 8-4 on paper, but 3 of your losses were to Clinton and Hoggard, who played for the state championship, and Havelock, who almost played for a state championship. And you have all 3 of them to start the season off in 2024. What are your expectations after the first 3 weeks this year?
Hopefully we have a team left to play with. we started the year with a #1 3A team in the state. Then we played the #1 2A team in the state, and so then we got brilliant and played the #1 4A team in the East. But honestly, you know, I got a lot of people ask this. A lot of our folks, you know, they get mad at me, and I'm like, we got to play 10 games. Nobody will play us, and we'll play anybody anywhere. That's just the way it is. Biggest thing for us is we're going to line up and we're going to come play. I ain't talking junk. Our kids, we got great kids. They understand the tradition. You know, Coach Price was there. His father was there. Coach Holly was there. That didn't come from me. That's in the DNA of Wallace Rose Hill, and we're just trying to defend the tree and defend what Wallace Rose Hill is about, and our kids understand that. And you know, we're going to line up and we're going to play, and we're going to give it all we got. At the end of the day, we're going to be judged on how we played the game. When I die, my God's going to judge me on how I played the game. And too many times people want to judge based on that black box and that score, but at the end of the day, it's how you play the game. And if this team don't do like last year when we started 0-3, a lot of our guys, that really affected them, and they didn't handle that. And some of them were, you know, just didn't handle it mentally. And for this team, if we handle those first 3 games and continue to grow and we stay hungry, this group's got a chance to be really special and really good. And right now we had 5 days off, and going to practice yesterday, you know, it looked like we'd had 5 days off. So we've got to get back. They've worked so hard to get to this point, and we just got to stay hungry and healthy and keep fighting.
All right, one more question real quick. Your quote is saying, "We as football coaches, players, and fans need to be reminded and reflect on just how important the game is. Now more than ever, teamwork, work ethic, competition, how to handle success, and lifelong relationships and memories. Go Dogs." Coach, tell us or talk about why football is important in a young person's life.
Well, you know, for me, I know what it meant to me as a player. And God blessed me with a great mother and a great father, but I loved to fight. I loved to do stupid stuff. When I was younger, I loved to listen to the devil, and I did a lot of dumb stuff, and I know what football meant to me to be the man that I am today. And I always joked that my daddy, being in the military, that, you know, he only knew 2 ways, and that was the military and the Holy Bible. And I always said, you get the 2 of them together, you ended up with the devil. And I deserved every beating I got, and it made me the man that I am. Football now, you know, after Hurricane Florence and what it did to our community and everything else, football was so important. It was the only positive thing we had in Wallace and Teachey and Rose Hill and Chinkabin and Beulahville and a lot of different places. And then you get COVID, and the only thing that kept schools together, and a lot of administrators and politicians and all them people that have choked themselves out with a tie don't understand the only thing that kept schools together was football. And I say it all the time, and I'll tell you again, you'll learn more in a weight room than you will any other classroom. And if you come in to learn how to lift weights and compete against yourself every single day, then you'll be better in the English classroom, you'll be better in math, you'll be better in science, you'll be a better husband, you'll be a better father, because we've taken out the competition. You know, you go back and reason football was invented, and, you know, Google it. That's the only place on earth that's right. Google it. And they'll tell you the men that created the game of football, why they created it. They thought that the people were getting soft. They thought the people were getting soft. Now, think about that. I mean, it's for World War I. This was 1800s. This before my granddad lied in the Bible and said 16 years old and went and joined the Navy. You know, that was a different breed of human being, and they thought they were getting soft. And now you look at the society we have today, football's the only place where you have to make that choice that Coach Ayers talked about. Everything else we give you, oh, do it over, or we say we'll beat you with a wet noodle, do it over. I mean, that's what we do. We make excuses and we allow everybody to do whatever, okay. I mean, look at the Olympics. I mean, what event are we going to put in the Olympics? We'll have chess next year. We'll have Fortnite. I told our team last night, by the Los Angeles Olympics, Fortnite will be gold. And it'll be us in China to see who wins gold in Fortnite. I mean, that sums up our world, and the only thing left is football. You get hit in the mouth, what you going to do? You're going to run the mom in the bleachers, you're going to get up and hit him in the mouth. And that's marriage, that's being a father, that's getting up, going to work, whether you feel like it or not. Don't expect the government to hand you money and sit on your butt and somebody else pay for it. Football, you got to get up, you got to play, and you either get your butt whooped or you hit them. What happens? Make choice.
All right, thank you, Coach Mossinger. Good luck Saturday night. Your opponent will be the Topsail Pirates, Coach Teachy. He's not here, but the Pirates are led by the third-year head football coach, Jack Teachy. The Pirates finished 4-6 overall last season, 2-5 in conference play. The third game Saturday night will be the East Duplin Panthers against the South Brunswick Cougars. East Duplin is led by head coach Battle Holly. The Panthers finished the season 10-2 overall, 5-1 in conference. The Panthers lost to Whiteville High School in the third round of the state 2A playoffs. Coach, coming off a state title in 2022 and losing a lot to graduation, expectations were lower than normal. However, most programs would love 10-2 in a third round of state playoffs in a down or rebuilding year. What are your expectations or team goals headed into 2024?
We just want to be the best team that we can be. If that's 5-5, 10-2, 16-0, we want to be the best team that we can be. That's our goals every year.
Okay, I saw in the news where Duplin County had some flooding issues. How has that impacted your practices so far, and how are your guys able to adapt?
Well, we Tuesday was our last practice, and we were able to start back yesterday. Isn't that right, Coach? Yes. Start back yesterday. We got 2 practices. We practiced yesterday, practiced today, and then we'll scrimmage North Brunswick. I thought practice was going good. We were getting into a little groove. We got a good group of kids that are committed, and hopefully we can get the rust off of us today and give a look tomorrow.
Sounds good. Okay, East Duplin is known for physical wing tee football. I expect to see the same this year. Who will be some of the key playmakers on each side of the ball for the Panthers this year?
Well, if you see us, I don't think you think we'd be very physical. We play with a lot of heart. Our best lineman on our team is about 5'8", 160. It's right there, Sidney Lanier. So we take guys, and they got to be all in, like Coach said, and they got to be committed, and they got to love one another. Love is the glue, and that's one thing we talk about with our players. I was glad to hear Coach talking about that glue and its love. And for us to be successful, our team's got to really love each other and care about each other and push each other and hold each other accountable.
All right, thank you, Coach. Coach Holly, thank you. Good luck Saturday night. The Panthers will face off against South Brunswick Cougars. The Cougars are led by new head coach David Yao. The Cougars finished 2-8 overall last year, 0-7 in conference play. Question for Coach. Welcome to Bash at the Beach, Football Jamboree. When did you arrive on campus, and how has workouts been so far?
Thank you for having me. I officially got hired on May 21st, and so I heard a story earlier today. A young lady told me you never have a baby, relocate, and start a new job at the same time. I did all three. We'll move into our house the weekend after we play Richlands. We sign on the 23rd and move in on the 24th. I got hired on May 21st. My son was born on May 21st. So I chose to do all three of them this summer. I've aged a lot in the last 2 months, but it's okay. Like, this is a goal that our family wants to do. So we're excited to be here. Thanks for having me today. This is pretty special. I've never been a part of this before. But our summer workouts, talking about our kids, man, I can't talk enough about how hard our kids have worked this summer. They're excited to have a new change in coaching staff, a new leadership, and they really worked hard for us this summer. And we're just hoping that as a coaching staff that we can return the favor to those kids and put the best product on the field that we possibly can.
Okay, Coach. now that you hit the ground running, that's what it sounds like to me. What can we expect to see differently from the Cougars this year on offense and defense?
So I'm an offensive lineman at heart. That's where I made all my money playing football. And so I tell my kids, we're going to win the line of scrimmage. That's where we're going to win. Ball games are won or lost on the trenches, you know, and all these coaches would say the same thing. And so we really put an emphasis on those guys. You know, on offense, we're going to be physical up front, try to move the line of scrimmage. And on defense, we're going to move the line of scrimmage backwards the best we can and let our linebackers flow and make plays. We got a couple special linebackers behind the D-line that's going to be good for us this year, and so we're excited to see those guys play.
All right, one more question, Coach. What has been some of the positive things that you've seen in the school, community, et cetera, coming into 2024?
Yeah, the community has been awesome. They've been really welcoming. Like I said, I'm the new guy. You know, I inherited my staff, inherited my team, you know, and they've been really welcoming of me. And I really appreciate that. Like it's been a fun, exciting summer because we're able to come in and work and have a lot of support. You know, Friday, we have a parent night, and that's the reason why we couldn't play our game on Friday and move to Saturday. Bring those guys in for our parent social and get to really know them and show them that we're all together on the same team. You know, I tell people all the time that coaches and parents are not enemies of each other. We're on the same team, and a lot of these coaches will tell you, you get a bad rap, you know, mom and dad's going to come in and want to talk about playing time or not treating their kid fairly or something like that. But every kid that walks in that front door, it's someone's pride and joy. And so as a coaching staff, we make sure that we treat each and every one of them that way because we're going to treat them like they're our kids. And we have a couple players on our team that are kids of our coaches. So that's our goal, is to love on these kids, do right by them, put our best product on the field, and we'll see what the outcome is at the end of the year.
Yeah, you guys got a whole new look over at South Brunswick, new principal, new head football coach,
sir.
new athletic director. All right, good luck, Coach, Saturday night. In the last and final game of the Jamboree, we have the East Bladen Eagles taking on the West Brunswick Trojans. The East Bladen Eagles are led by longtime head coach Robbie Priest. The Eagles finished the season 8-6 overall last year, 4-2 in conference play. The Eagles lost to the state runner-up Tarboro in the 4th round of the state playoffs. Coach, we had you in a different seat in the media day last year or this year, but Mother Nature messed us up. Apologize for that. How has summer workouts been so far, and what can we expect from the Eagles in 2024?
Summer workouts going good. Expect what you want. That'll be determined during practice and throughout the games. I know we lost one game, scrimmage. You know, I guess I'm not the only one in the same boat, but really would have liked to got that opportunity just to get more film for the younger guys. So that's it.
All right, so another deep run in the playoffs last year. What are your expectations for this year's team, and how many returning starters do you have?
We lost a lot, not gonna lie, but each year you got a different group, and those guys got to fill in the void, find their niche, and you know, make their mark on the team. We got to win the race to maturity. Last year, early on, I think we were 2-2, non-conference, and you know, every coach goes through it, finger pointing, all of that stuff. Once you outgrow that stuff and you start to pat each other on the back and stuff, you know, that's when you really start to take off as a team.
All right, real quick, we've had some rough flooding in Bladen County. How did that impact your practices so far, and your players? How did that impact your players too?
A couple of them weren't able to make it to practice on that Tuesday. That was when we got shut down. But we got back at it last night, and it looked like fish out of water. I mean, it was pitiful. But the fire ants, we've got some Division I fire ants in Bladen County. And them jokers are undefeated. But practice will get better, get more reps tonight, and we'll see what we got on Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Coach Priest. Good luck Saturday night. Finally, the Eagles will take on or face the West Brunswick Trojans. The Trojans are led by second-year head coach Shane Handy. West Brunswick finished 1-9 overall last year, 1-6 in conference play. Coach Haney's not here. However, we do have defensive coordinator Coach Powell. Coach Powell, how has summer workouts been going, and what's expected from the Trojans in 2024?
Hot, very hot. It's funny, we complained about not getting enough rain, and then all of a sudden we get a bunch of rain and we miss a bunch of practices. So it's just kind of funny how God works. But summer workouts have been good. You know, we've got 1 million freshman bodies, and hopefully we can mold them into football players. We're running at about upper 80s, low 90s total in our program, which is the highest it's been in a couple of years. So we're excited to get out and actually see what we've been able to put together this summer.
Okay. Coach, can you give me one offense, one defensive player that I'll be calling out a lot Saturday night?
One we brought with us, Judge O'Hamrick. He, probably had the game of his life, the last game of the year against South last year. I think he finally figured it out, and we look forward to seeing what he can do for the whole year. Defensively, we got another guy with us today, Timmy. Timmy played outside linebacker safety for us last year. Timmy was a receiver. We thought he was a receiver and gave me the biggest headache for years. But I think he finally figured out that he's a defensive player. We look forward to seeing what he can do this year.
All right, good deal. Finally, third question. Coach Little over here said that he had, he winning the conference is his expectation. What is the best statement or prediction for the 2024 Trojans?
Well, I don't get into the prediction game. I'd be a millionaire if I did, or I'd still be broke. I just think we're just ready to, like I said earlier, just spot the ball, line up, play football, give 100% every rep, and let the chips fall where they may.
All right, thank you, Coach Powell. Good luck Saturday night. That concludes the 8 games for the 2-night event. We want the coaches to stay. Coaches stay. We want to thank everyone for attending today. Special thank you to Brunswick Community College for allowing us to use their facility. Thank you to the entire Bash at the Beach committee for their hard work and planning for this event. Please remember to go check out the website, www.bashatthebeach.com, to purchase tickets, view photos, and video from past events, and go to or share the GoFan links on your social media pages, and encourage your fans to purchase their tickets now before they arrive on game day. We're going to now dismiss everyone and open up the coaches and players to our local media. Everybody have a safe trip home, and we'll see you Friday and Saturday night. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.